Hey guys, let's get more news about Miami Heat, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. What the Heat is expecting of Pelle Larsson in First Summer League. As the Miami Heat get ready for the Summer League as their young and up-and-coming stars look to stand out, one that will be one of the more interesting to watch is second-round pick Pelle Larsson. Coming out of the University of Arizona, Larsson spoke to the media Thursday afternoon to talk about his first practice in preparation for play this summer, plus what he is looking to accomplish with the Heat. Larsson's talents turned the heads of Miami, who selected him with their second-round pick, as now he looks to showcase his skills in the offseason with the help of Summer League head coach Dan Bisaccio. Usually acting as the team's player development coach, he will look to get the best out of every player on the summer roster, especially Larsson, which Bisaccio said to Clutch Points that they are extremely excited about the rookie's versatility. "I mean, for Pelle, we're extremely excited at the versatility he can bring on both the offense and defensive ends. We're gonna really want to make sure he has those Heat habits," Bisaccio said. "A lot of the different things of guarding different positions on offense. Yeah, he can shoot it, but we want to see that next level. What else can you do with the ball? Can you be a playmaker for us? Can you make reads from there? But above all, like, we want these guys to go out there, we want them to compete. You know, I'm not going to give them this full playbook full of things and terms they want to do. We want to make sure that they have a couple of things on their checklist, especially these young guys, but at the end of the day, like, we want them to display winning habits. That's the most important thing, and that's what really translates to playing on the court in the NBA." Besides certain names that Heat fans remember from last season like Cole Swider and Alonzo Williams, Larsson also joins first-round pick Kel'el Ware and his college teammate in Keshad Johnson, who signed one of 3 of the team's two-way contracts. Johnson was picked up by Miami as an undrafted free agent as Larsson spoke with his Wildcats teammate about being with each other in the NBA. "Me and Keshad, we got here in camp. We kind of talked about it a little bit and had some good conversations about just how far we've come, but just got to look forward to what's ahead," Larsson said to Clutch Points. "I got some texts about it on draft night, so I was really happy when they told me. Me and Keshad had a really good year together at Arizona. So I'm really happy that he's here. There's probably no other team I want to play with, so it's a really cool thing." As soon as Larsson was selected by the Heat after swapping their picks with the Atlanta Hawks to move down a spot, he definitely seemed like a player the team would like. He played 4 seasons of collegiate basketball, has major tournament experience, is a great shooter, and has intensity on defense, aspects that the 23-year-old believes fits with the organization. "I think my play style fits very well with this team," Larsson said. "I think every guy on the Heat does a lot of things. It's not one specific thing. Like, there's a lot that goes into it. Our guys are two-way guys, like two ends of the floor, defense and offense. And they can do a lot of things in a lot of situations. So that's just the type of player I fit into that category, and it's a guy that can do a lot of things and play on both ends." NBA Insider looks down on Heat due to lack of moves. "It's sad to just watch you stand in place." ESPN's Zach Lowe had some criticism for the Miami Heat and the Milwaukee Bucks so far this offseason. Both the Heat and Bucks have yet to make a major move, partially due to their lack of resources to sign players in free agency due to their current salary cap situations, and they've instead had to watch teams like the New York Knicks, Orlando Magic and Philadelphia 76ers improve their rosters. New York made a massive splash, agreeing to a deal with the Brooklyn Nets to add 3-and-D wing Mikal Bridges to the roster. After that, New York agreed to a new deal with forward OG Anunoby, giving it some serious depth and defense ahead of the 2024-25 season. In free agency, both Philadelphia and Orlando have made big splashes. The Magic added guard Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, who was a key part of the Denver Nuggets title in the 2022-23 season, on a 3-year deal. Orlando finished ahead of the Heat in the standings last season, and now it has another solid rotation piece to pair alongside rising star Paolo Banchero. The Sixers made arguably the biggest splash of any team this entire offseason, agreeing to a max deal with all-star Paul George. Now, Philly has an impressive big three of George, Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey. While the Heat did bring in veteran Alec Burks, they have yet to re-sign Haywood Highsmith or Caleb Martin, two players that were key contributors for them in the 2023-24 season. Milwaukee has added a few potential rotation players such as DeLon Wright and Taurean Prince, but neither team has made a move that moves the needle as much as New York or Philadelphia. Plus, the Boston Celtics reportedly agreed to extensions with Jason Tatum and Derek White, keeping their roster intact for the long haul after winning the title in the 2023-24 season. Both Miami and Milwaukee dealt with injuries in the playoffs in the 2023-24 season that led to them being eliminated in the first round. Still, it appears that Lowe wants to see both teams make some moves to improve to keep pace with some of the other teams in the conference. On the bright side for the Heat, they made the finals in the 2022-23 season and have been a contender for several seasons despite keeping their main pieces around Jimmy Butler, Tyler Herro, Bam Adebayo, relatively similar. It's possible that the franchise believes that is enough to make a run again in the 2024-25 season. Miami Heat prepared for trade to add high-level player, report. Stop us if you've heard this one before. The Miami Heat want to maintain their salary cap flexibility here in the early part of the NBA offseason just in case, a major star player comes available on the trade market in the coming weeks. You'll be excused if you strain some ocular muscles while rolling your eyes over that. Even Eric Spoelstra must get tired of hearing that the team is on the hunt for a major star trade. Remember 2022, when Kevin Durant requested a trade from the Brooklyn Nets, one that eventually fizzled before he was finally traded to Phoenix a year later? The Heat were supposed to be determined to keep their flexibility for a Durant trade that summer. Or Bradley Beal. Or James Harden. Nothing happened, of course. Just like nothing happened in 2023, despite a summer's worth of speculation about a Heat trade for Damian Lillard that made the deal seem a slam dunk. Until, that is, Lillard was dealt to Milwaukee. So with veteran Heat reporters Anthony Chang and Barry Jackson of the Miami Herald reporting that the team is keeping its options in free agency open so that they can add a high-level player via a future trade. Sigh. The Herald's report comes from 3 sources, and suggests that the Heat have already had discussions on a blockbuster deal, and perhaps more. The Heat, because the team is over the first apron of the NBA's punitive new luxury tax, would likely need to make a trade to dump salary before a major trade for a star player could be pulled off. Here's what Chang and Jackson reported: there's a reason the Heat hasn't quickly spent that money, under the apron. According to 3 people who have had contact with the Heat, Miami wants to maintain flexibility with that space in case an opportunity to add a high-level player becomes available. There have been Heat trade discussions with teams, including one with substantial cap space, though further details are unclear. One of the sources said Miami also wants to see what good players become available in the trade market in the days and weeks ahead. So, any holding pattern is the byproduct of preferring to leave options open to pursue something meaningful, not a reluctance to spend. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Terry Rozier? Leave your opinion in the comments.